G'day Spurs fans, Paul Hotspur hippie here, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet. I hope you're all well out there. It's a bit rainy today in Sydney, but just taking a break now. I'm guessing from Ange's press conference this morning that he might be getting a bit of flack from the media and from some fans out there because of his stubborn, non-shifting stance on playing entertaining football. I'm guessing that's being read as he just wants to entertain and doesn't want to win. For someone who doesn't want to win, he's won an awful lot in his career, I'll tell you that. And I think people are forgetting what this club is about sometimes, you know, the media, whatever, people that ring in Talksport, what the essence of Tottenham Hotspur is, because it is about entertainment. It is absolutely about entertainment. And, you know, when I hear people complaining about Daniel Levy wiping the history away from the club, which I think is a fair criticism, and that there should be a statue of Bill Nicholson at White Hart Lane, which is something I also agree with, then you've got to at least carry the principles of Bill Nicholson forward. And Bill Nicholson was all about entertainment, man. There's a quote of his, football's about entertainment. It's better to play the football the fans want to see and have a lot of them than play the football we want to play and have less of them. Football was all about the fans, he was all about entertainment. And what do you know? With that as a principle, he won 7 major honours. So just because you stick to your guns and play entertaining football doesn't mean you're not going to have success. Steve Perryman has said many times, he said it to me a few times, that Bill Nicholson never told him to run the corner flag and wind down the clock. That's not what Spurs were about. But it didn't start with Bill Nicholson. In my mind, it started about 50 years before that, I suppose, in the early part of the 20th century. Peter McWilliam came down and managed Spurs from Inverness, bringing this strange, kooky brand of Scottish football. I wonder if Twitter was around or YouTube was around, people would have been saying, you can't play that daft stuff here. It don't work in England. Well, he won an FA Cup. And more than that, it really had a deep effect on not just Tottenham Hotspur, but the football world as a whole. Peter McWilliam had 2 stints as manager of Tottenham. And he coached Arthur O, who I'll get onto in a second, and another guy called Vic Buckingham. Now, Vic Buckingham, in the late 50s, early 60s, went to manage a little old team called Ajax, where he took Peter McWilliam's principles of total football, this is a Spurs thing, to Ajax. Vic Buckingham gave Johan Cruyff his debut in 1964 for Ajax. But if that wasn't enough, Vic Buckingham then also shifted over to Barcelona and brought it there. This silly, entertaining, successful total football. And Vic Buckingham credited Peter McWilliam with having a big influence on his football philosophy and outlook, as did Arthur Rowe. Arthur Rowe, who again set the football nation on fire by winning the 2nd division, then 1st division on the bounce. It was often called the push and run side. I don't think he was too keen on that, but if you've ever seen a thing in football called a 1-2, that was Arthur Rowe. Ridiculous football. You can't have success doing that. Can't be done. Entertaining as hell, and it was successful. And in Arthur Rowe's team, there was Bill Nicholson, learning his trade from the best, of bringing that forward all through Spurs, having influences on subsequent managers, including Keith Birkinshaw and Terry Venables. Terry Venables was showbiz personified, man. Showbiz personified. So don't tell me that entertaining football means you don't win and you don't succeed. So we have a deep, rich history of being entertaining at football and Spurs and doing things a little bit differently. It's the way we've always done it. There's been many a times where we've been told we can't do things. You can't be a non-league team and win the FA Cup. You can't win the FA Cup and Division 1 in the same season. It's not been done. It was like Roger Bannister and the 4-minute mile. They didn't know it was humanly possible. They thought you might disintegrate if you got to less than 4 minutes for a mile. Can't be done. The limits of human physique. Then Roger Bannister does it and everyone does it. Same with Spurs. We do the double. It's known that you can do it, and it's been done several times since. Also, Arthur Rowe. Arthur Rowe, before the Second World War, went over to Hungary to pass his football philosophy onto the Hungarian FA, including Ferenc Puskás. So there you go. There's another great influence that Spurs have had through being entertaining and playing total successful football. Ferenc Puskás then spent later on in his career, after a lot of success with Real Madrid and almost winning the World Cup with Hungary, but not quite. He trained Ange Postecoglou for 2 years at South Melbourne Hellas. So for me, Ange being at Spurs, it's not just because he's Australian and people think I only support Spurs because I'm Australian. I mean, yeah, okay. It's that torch being carried on, of entertaining the crowd, setting their hearts on fire. Because when you do that, when people catch it, you will be successful. You will be successful. That's how we've been successful before at Spurs. So, you know, if you want a statue of Bill Nicholson, great. But don't forget what Bill Nicholson said about football, about what we're there for. And don't forget what Danny Blanchflower said. It ain't about winning. It's the biggest fallacy that football's about winning. The game is about glory. And when the fans are entertained and all is one, success can happen. And, you know, recently I've been dismayed and I've been very vocal about some people out there in YouTube land, and I'll continue to be from time to time, because I see what they're doing as their own agenda, and I see it as harming the club and harming our chances. When I hear people saying things like, even if Ange wins a trophy, nothing's changed. Well, you see the goalposts are moving already. It used to be we don't have a trophy, and now even if we win a trophy, it's not good enough for these people. So I'll speak out about anything that I think harms our club, and I think there's a lot of harmful opinions out there. Of course, people are welcome to their opinions, and I'm welcome to smash them down because I think they're totally wrong. I don't think they're in the best interests of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club one bit. And I think Ange is doing a great job. Proof's in the pudding. We'll just have to keep on winning. And I do know that Spurs fans I grew up with in London, I still speak to, they're behind him. I know there's a lot of people that watch my stuff that are behind him. When I hear the crowd at football games, home and away, I hear the fans are fully behind the team. You know, so I would say don't worry about the internet, folks. I think Tottenham Hotspur ain't changing. Ange Postecoglou certainly isn't changing, and thank everything that's powerful for that, because if you start changing, you turn into just Eric Ten Hag, don't you? And look what happened there, he didn't last 5 minutes. So, you know, stick with Ange, mate. Entertaining football is successful football at Tottenham Hotspur. It always has been. That's the way we play. If you want the statue, you've got to play the Bill Nicholson way. Peace and love, man, and come on you Spurs.